in a division where champions rise only to relinquish their thrones. Individuality often dissolves in the glow cast by the division's brightest stars. Yet the path to true recognition is still rooted in the sport's oldest customs. To carve a name, you must first conquer an even bigger name. Alberto Puello crept onto the scene, though not without controversy, as he served a 6-month suspension for PED use. Since returning, Puello made a statement by upsetting Gary Antoine Russell to claim the vacant interim WBC junior welterweight world title. He was later elevated to full champion status when Haney vacated the belt. Puello has since defended his title once, earning a hard-fought decision over a game St. Martin. Now, Puello stands across the division's Grim Reaper, the former IBF super lightweight world champion, Subriel Matias. Facing Matias is a perilous proposition. His reputation precedes him as the division's executioner. History suggests there are only 2 possible outcomes. You either scrape by with a narrow decision, or you endure a punishing, violent ending. In all 22 of Matias' victories, not a single opponent has lasted until the final bell. Both boxers represent contrasting stylistic archetypes, setting the stage for a fascinating clash of styles in the upcoming bout. Alberto La Avispa Puello enters the ring with a distinctive skill set. As a technical southpaw, his style is built around movement and ring intelligence. Puello fights tall, as he uses his lengthy frame and long reach to his full advantage, excelling at controlling distance and keeping opponents at the end of his punches. This ability to manage range is central to his game, as he creates just enough space to read opponents and react accordingly. His footwork and constant movement make him a difficult target to trap, while his southpaw stance allows him to generate awkward angles and open up opportunities for sharp, accurate combinations. Puello's ring generalship stands out. He's a cerebral fighter who thinks several steps ahead, using every movement for strategic positioning. His lead hand is instrumental in setting up his offense, particularly his rear hand, and he's fundamentally sound on both ends of offense and defense.
By Puello there, but what really stands out is that uppercut. Look, it's not the uppercut.
They get into his body shots and combinations, and maybe throwing them a little bit.
So put their guard up, you gotta go up the middle, and there's this is.
Defensively, Puello is disciplined, often reducing opponents' opportunities of landing clean to then capitalize with pinpoint counters. His ability to adapt and switch between offense and defense makes him well-rounded in a tricky puzzle to solve, making him adaptable, as he's able to fight both pressing forward or box off his back foot. While he isn't known for knockout power, Puello compensates with high activity and excellent conditioning, maintaining a steady work rate for the duration of the full 12 rounds. Above all, it's his versatility and technical approach that allows him to dictate the pace and control the outcome of his fights.
And creating some space.
Poorly, he rubbed the back of his head, and as I watched him walk away, he was kind of shaking his head.
Protect yourself at all times.
Exactly. And that's why Harvey Doc, you know.
Cannon, he's always either initiating or countering.
Russell lets his hands go, but the more I catch it, the more.
Gary Russell Jr. or Gary Antoine Russell.
Subriel Matias represents the complete opposite approach, a demon-possessed pressure fighter fueled with violent intentions. While he isn't a classic one-punch knockout artist, Matias is more like an axe-wielding maniac, butchering down opponents round after round until they've been beaten into defeat. Matias doesn't just beat opponents, he punishes them. His style is direct and unforgiving. You know exactly what he's bringing, but stopping it is another matter entirely. There's nothing cute or deceptive about his approach. He presses straight forward, applying suffocating pressure while unloading punches from all directions. Both hands are equally savage. The real threat comes from his ability to consistently fire off hard, rapid combinations without letting up.
Dogged pressure from Subriel Matias, and what Matias does.
uppercuts, body shots. Wow.
Matias throws 86 punches around Ponce. Matias.
I know, and now it's all about adjustments in these.
What truly sets Matias apart is the combination of his aggression and his unmatched durability. His iron chin and exceptional conditioning allows him to absorb punishment and keep coming forward, compensating for his lack of defense. Confident in his power giving him the edge, Matias is willing to engage in exchanges, making him a true terror against anyone who dares step foot into the pocket. When it all boils down, Matias demonstrates that boxing isn't just about technical skill. Heart, grit, and willingness to endure and sacrifice are just as important. He forces every opponent to answer a brutal question. Just how much are you willing to give? And how far are you willing to go to survive against someone who refuses to back down?
The doctor let him go. He was like, I really don't want to do. The other thing about Matias is this always happens. About the fact that while middle of the round, Matias wasn't as effective in terms of the power that he landed.
Understanding your opponent is only half the battle. How you adapt to the actions is equally important. Matias is known for being a notoriously slow starter, often taking a few rounds to find his rhythm before shifting into higher gear. This presents an opportunity for Puello to capitalize early, but it's essential that he does so efficiently, using movement and laying it clean. Effective punches to secure rounds without wasting unnecessary energy. Energy conservation will be key for Puello, especially as Matias typically becomes most dangerous in the latter half of the fight. Distance and movement will play a pivotal role in this matchup. Puello needs to fight at range, utilizing his mobility and long punches to keep Matias at bay. His southpaw jab, in particular, can exploit the openings Matias creates when he squares up, providing a direct path for his jab to pierce. As Matias begins to close in, Puello must consistently pivot out and turn, much like Paro did, forcing Matias to reset and preventing him from planting his feet to unload his combinations. While Puello has demonstrated the ability to exchange at mid and close range, he should avoid lingering in a pocket against a dangerous puncher such as Matias. Instead, he should focus on landing sharp, clean punches in mid to close range, then quickly exiting. The longer he remains in Matias' preferred range, the greater the risk of Matias landing his damaging shots. By maintaining disciplined boxing from the outside with constant movement, Puello can maximize his strengths while minimizing opportunities for Matias.
Got a left uppercut right to the belly after it.
Double jab.
Matias is gonna be Matias. He's entered every fight with the same relentless style, and it's unrealistic to expect him to suddenly transform his approach now. While it's easy to draw up a game plan on paper, Matias' success has always come from sticking to what he does best. With that said, if I were to offer some insight, here's what I suggest. He should start early and start fast. Matias doesn't need to load the shots. His focus should be on keeping the distance tight and forcing Puello to work, making him move, making him punch to keep Matias off. Although Puello has good movement, his most vulnerable moments come when his back touches the ropes or turning off of them. These are the times Matias should target the body, breaking Puello down and dragging a fight into the later rounds where fatigue begins to set. Matias needs to throw and volume, punches and bunches, both coming in and as Puello exits. Puello is accurate, but he doesn't have the fight-changing power. By exchanging with him, Matias will have the edge. Puello will look to counter between Matias' punches, so Matias should give him just enough openings to lure him into exchanges, where Matias' pressure and volume can take over. When push comes to shove, Matias just needs to do what he does best. Keep the output high and the distance close. Puello's movements will sap his energy and limit his own offense. If you want to drown your opponent, you drag them out to the deep end and make sure they fight every inch. So when it's time to swim back, they're too exhausted to make a home.
Wins, and Hawkins taking that
right eye. Oh man, that was right there too.
Right in the eye.
fight was dramatic, and that one, even if that punch was...
This matchup is a classic battle between a boxer and a puncher. Puello brings a technical, movement-orientated southpaw style, where Matias relies on raw pressure and finishing power. Puello's most notable victories have come by narrow decisions, highlighting some vulnerabilities in his approach. On the other hand, Matias' record is clear. Opponents either get stopped or survive to hear the final bell. His recent split decision loss to Pero is telling. Pero threw over 1,100 punches to edge out the win. Puello, on the other hand, lacks true knockout power and is far more selective with his offense, typically throwing around 450 punches per fight. What fascinates me about this matchup is the way each fighter embodies both the means to win and the seeds of their own undoing in the other. It's a contest shaped by duality, a true test of strengths and vulnerabilities, almost as if fate has orchestrated a perfect balance. Matias' lack of defensive subtlety and his predictable approach seem, on the surface, like glaring flaws. Yet, paradoxically, it is this very relentlessness that I envision gradually wearing down Puello. Still, I sense that Puello, resilient and composed, will endure the storm and remain standing at the final bell, a testament to the indomitable spirit that both men bring to the ring. Subriel Matias by decision.